Hermann Sudermann was a German dramatist and novelist. Life. Early career. He was born at Maidzicken, a village just to the east of Heidekrug in the province of Prussia, close to the Russian frontier. The Sudermanns were a Mennonite family long settled near the former Elbing, East Prussia, Poland. His father owned a small brewery in Heidekrug, and Sudermann received his early education at the Realschule in Elbing, but, his parents having been reduced in circumstances, he was apprenticed to a chemist at the age of 14. He was, however, able to enter the Realgymnasium in Tilsit, and to study philosophy and history at Königsberg University. In order to complete his studies, Sudermann went to Berlin, where he was tutor to several families, including that of the author Hans Hopfen. Next he became a journalist, and was in 1881 and 1882 the co-editor of the Deutsches Reichsblatt. He then devoted himself to fiction, beginning with a collection of naturalistic short stories called Im Zwielicht, and the novels Frau Sorge, Geschwister and Der Katzenstick. These works failed to bring the young author as much recognition as his first drama, Die Ära, which inaugurated a new period in the history of the German stage. This play, originally intended to be a tragedy, but on Blumenthal's advice given a happy ending, was a pseudo-Nietzschean attack on the morality of the lowly. He married the novelist Clara Lochner, née Acute Schultz, on the 20th of October 1891. She was a widow and already had 3 children from her previous short-lived marriage, and she would have one child with Sudermann, a daughter, Hede. They lived in Königsberg for the next 2 years, before moving to Dresden, and then Berlin in 1895. Fame. Another successful drama, Heimat, was translated into English as Magda. In this play, Sudermann emphasizes the right of the artist to a freer moral life than that of the petty bourgeoisie. It has some of the moralistic and didactic tendency of the later French dramatists, especially the younger Dumas, and all of the technical finesse. Productions featured some of the best-known actresses of the time, including Helena Modjeska, Sarah Bernhardt, Eleonora Duse, and Mrs. Patrick Campbell. He had a large following in Japan. During the 20th century, his plays were the basis of more than 30 films. Sudermann returned to novels with S. War, a protest against the fruitlessness of brooding repentance. In 1902, he moved to a mansion with extensive grounds at Blankensee, and used his newfound wealth to collect paintings and sculpture, and to take trips to Italy, Greece, Egypt and India. At the commencement of World War I, Sudermann was enthusiastic, publishing a Kaiserlied. In autumn 1917, he organized the Frohe Band, a program promoting artistic endeavors among the common people, for which he received an Iron Cross Second Class on 5 April 1918. After the end of the war, he helped found the Bund Schaffender Künstler, which posed as a centrist political force and which earned him the reputation of an opportunist. The most important of his later works, Literature Geschichten, a realistic portrait of his homeland, and a volume of memoirs in 1922. His last major work, written after the death of his wife in 1924, was Die Frau des Stefan Tromholt, a semi-autobiographical novel, which turned into a movie in 1929 named Wonder of Women. He had a stroke in 1928, and died of a lung infection shortly afterwards, in Berlin, aged 71. His stepson Rolf Lochner set up the Hermann Sudermann Foundation to support young dramatists. Posthumous reputation. Sudermann's nationalism, and his delight in romanticized ideas of ethnicity and homeland, particularly noticeable in his later works, made him a favorite during World War II. Jürgen Failing staged Johannes Feuer in Berlin, with Maria Gorven, Maria Koppenhofer and Paul Wegner in the lead roles. The film Die Reise nach Tilsit was based on his short story of the same title. After 1945, his plays and novels were almost completely forgotten. He is chiefly remembered today for his Lithuanian stories, for his autobiography, and for the 1927 silent film Sunrise, based on his short story Die Reisnacht from the collection Litauische Geschichten, The Song of Songs, starring Marlene Dietrich. Based on his novel Das hohe Leiden Flesh and the Devil, starring Greta Garbo, based on his novel The Undying Past, works, Im Zwielicht, Zwanglos-Geschichten, Frau Sorgen 1891, Geschwister, Zwei Novellen Die Geschichte der stillen Mühle der Wunsch in 1894. Die Ära, der Katzensteg in 1898 as Regina of the Sins of the Fathers. Sodom's Ende, a tragedy of artistic life in Berlin. Jolanthes Hochzeit in 1918, a humorous novel which breathes the serene realism of common life. Heimat, es War, Die Schmetterlingsschlacht, Das Glück im Winkel, Moritz-Tiger, Fritzchen, Das ewig Männlich, Johannes, Die drei Herfedern, Drei Reden, Johannes Feuer, Es lebe das Leben, Veröhung der Theaterkritik, Der Sturmgesell Sokrates, Die Sturmgesellen, ein Wort zur Abwehr, Steinen zu Steinen, Das Blumenboot, Rosen die Lichtbande, Margot der letzte Besuch die Fien Prinzess San, Das hohe Lied in 1910 and by Edward Sheldon in 1914. Strandkinder, Der Bettler von Syracuse, Die Indische Lily, Der Gutterruff, Die Lodgesange des Claudian, Die Entgottete Well, Litauische Geschichten, translated by Louis Galantier in 1930 as The Excursion to Tilsit de Reisnacht Tilsit Mix Bumbalus Johns UNDS Erdien, Die Magd, Die Raschofs, Der Hüter der Schwell, Das deutsche Schicksal, Johns und Erdme, eine litauische Geschichte, Das Bilderbuch meiner Jugend, Autobiography, Wie die Tormenden, Die Denkmalsfeier, Der Tollprofessor Roman aus der Bismarckzeit, Der Hassenfellhandler, Die Frau des Stefan Tromholt, Perselchen,